Okay, now we're going to look at the 2010 question 4. This is the one is no calculator allowed, okay? So let's look at certain part. I'm not going to do the whole problem, but what I would like to do is look at questions that I have not covered for the last 2 videos and have you take notes on that. So for example, for A is asking to find the area of region A. I'm going to skip that question. Again, it's top minus bottom, so I'm going to skip A. We're going to look at B, okay? It say write, again, it say a lot of question with volume is like write, but do not evaluate. So this one, we cannot use our calculator. An integral expression that gives the volumes that R is rotate about the horizontal line, Y is equals 7. So if you look over here, this line is Y equal 6. So when I say Y equals 7, so it's going to be this is your rotation, okay? So Y equals 7. So this is the rotation. I'm going to make that arrow to indicate that this is the axis. So they tell you when they rotate about something, this is the axis, okay? So this one is horizontal axis, so this would involve with dx. So if you remember that I gave you a general function before, is going to be the x values, so from A to B, okay? So this would be pi big R minus the axis square minus little r minus axis square dx. Okay, because this is horizontal. If it's vertical rotation, then we can change this to, again, it's still big R minus the axis, but instead of that, it's going to be dy. Okay, so go ahead and copy down this function. Okay, when I do this, I have my axis. Again, remind you the axis is right here, y equals 7. So what I would do is I'm going to draw the line touching the axis from the given region. So the first R that I'm going to draw is from, you can choose any point on that function. The first function is this curve. So I'm going to use this line, okay, touching the axis. And then I would do for the second function, which encloses the R, which is this point right here. So I can draw that again from here, touch the x-axis. I'm going to use a different color. So when you look at these two, which one represents the bigger R? It's a longer line, right? So this is R, and this one is little r. I'm going to write this as little r, okay? So this one is little r right here. Okay, so what we need to do is we're going to use a function, but we're going to replace what we have. So pi from A to B, so from 0 to 9, okay? Now, if I do this, you can do the axis minus the r or the way around, but I like the big R, which is this function right here, this curve, which is 2 square root of x minus the axis, which is 7 square. So r, axis, minus little r. The little r, which is this horizontal line, which is 6, minus the axis, which is 7 square dx. Alright, so for B, we are doing part B. It says set up, but do not solve. So we're pretty much done. And just this part alone, we give 3 points. So you take the time, review this, have this function down, have this trick that I just showed you, big R minus the axis square, minus R minus the axis square dx. Don't forget the pi in front. You just set up. That's 3 points for this question. Okay, so I'll give you a couple minutes, pause the video so you can copy the notes before we looked at the next question. Okay, so I'm going to clear the page and we're going to look at C. So this one is still cross section, right? But now this one is perpendicular to the y-axis. So this is your axis, okay? We want this axis. That's the axis that we want, so the y-axis. So whenever we do the y-axis, it's vertical rotation, so I need to solve my function in the x term. So if you solve this one for x, so divide by 1, so y over 2 is root. Alright, so this would give you y squared over 4 equal x. And for the second function, we don't need to solve for x because it's just y equals 6. Okay, so this one is a perpendicular to the y. That's tell you we need to solve in x, so our expression should be in y terms. Now, let's say whose height is 3 times the length of its base. So the height is 3 times the base. Area of a rectangle is base times height. So I can replace the height with b, 3b. So base times 3b, which is 3b squared. The reason we want to change so that all the terms that we have will be in the same letter, the same function, because we have only one variable. Okay, so if we look over here, this is, if you can call this, is the base. If you turn the picture sideways a little bit, so this is the base, right? It's from the curve down to the x-axis, to the y-axis, okay? So if you think of this as a function minus the axis, which is 0. Okay, so area of a rectangle would be, so now we look at the y, so I'm going to look over here. The y is from the 0 to the next y, the highest, which is 6. Okay, the area of a rectangle is base times height, but we change to 3 times b squared. B in this case is the function itself. So the function that we have is y squared over 4. There's 2 of them, so I can do y squared. Okay, dy. Right, so this asks you to set it up. Do not evaluate. And this should give you the solution. Again, a lot of questions like this ask you to set it up. So you can write like this, or you can do the 3 outside, 0, 6. Y squared over 4 times y squared over 4 dy. There's many ways of you to write it, but they pretty much the same thing. Okay, so this is cross section. This is the rectangle. Take notes, see us for office hour if you have any question.